Good morning, everybody. I have my water for the coffee chat this morning. Great to see you. Hopefully some of you have been here before. If you have, just let us know in the question boxes. We love to see your fun faces again and again. And as we've talked about, good morning, Tim. I think you are my most loyal fan right now. We're doing the coffee chats because we're trying to give agents around the country and brokers around the country just real practical, simple ways to, number one, to continue to do business right now because we know it's really tough out there. But importantly, to also learn some great new things that you can use to make your business super strong once you come out of this crazy mess. And it sounds like there's some glimmers of hope. I saw Tennessee and Georgia and a couple others are starting to sort of think about these things. So I don't know. Hopefully sooner than later we'll all be having normal cases. Betty said she's been here for every coffee chat. Love you. Thank you so much. And hello, Eileen. Good to see you. So first, I just wanted to remind all of us, because I know a lot of people have been using Zooms these days. GoToMeeting is a little bit different. You just go over to the right-hand bar, and there's a little button that says questions. Just click on that, and it'll open up, and then just feel free to ask us questions. And it's kind of just a conversation. Teresa's got some really, really exciting things to show us today, so she's got a lot of great content. But let's just jump into that. And, I wanted to introduce Teresa Kinney. She is one of the grand dames, let's say that, of the MLS world. She's super smart, very proactive, very centered on what her realtors need in her market, and has offered some very unique offerings because Miami is a very unique market, right, Teresa? It's got its own unique, interesting things to do with it. And so we've had several MLS executives on our talks now, and some of you may actually be from Miami, so you can take direct credit or get direct access to the kinds of things that Teresa's talking about, because there's some great stuff. But I also want to remind all of you that many MLSs, and your MLS included, probably also offers great ideas and great ways for you to generate business, and they also want to be a great business generation partner for you. So we want to learn about this specific market, but I also want to urge every one of you to go back to your own MLS and do some of the things we're going to look at today with Miami, because I guarantee you there are ways that they can help you through this. They've been offering online virtual selling technologies to you guys for many, many years, and maybe now's the time to take advantage of them and learn more about them. So I'm going to just jump in because Teresa's got some great stuff I want to talk through with you and show you. And before we started, we talked about the fact that we've talked to now FMLS in Georgia. We've talked to the Palm Beaches MLS. We've talked to an MLS from Alabama. And each of them have brought us different ideas about ways that MLSs can help you. And Teresa's got some unique and new ideas for us to look at today, too. So I urge you to go back and look at some of those other ones if you're looking to what are the ways that your MLS might be able to help you. So I just turned over to your celebration, Teresa. Maybe tell us a little bit about that 100-year celebration. That's amazing.
Well, it's going on all year long, and it actually started with our inaugural, which was immediately after President's Circle in Miami, where we threw a big 100th anniversary party at Live, the nightclub at the at the Fontainebleau. And fortunately, we were able to make it through our 1,300 members attending our inaugural and our 10-story cake for the inaugural and our awards program. And so it's really, really pretty cool. We've got another big 100th anniversary celebration scheduled for later this year. Date to be determined. But a lot of stuff going on in Miami, and we love celebrating.
Of course. And it's so nice and sunny and beautiful, and there's beautiful drinks down there. Of course, everybody wants to go to Miami. It's a great spot. Okay, let's jump into some of the technologies and things that you offer, because there's some really good stuff here. So I'll just click through, and you just tell me what you want me to go to the next slide, okay? So first, let's talk first actually about the market. So we've had several guests in the last several days talk to us about the market trends. We had a gentleman named Jim Watson who's from Terradatum, and that's a group that measures market performance in 1,800 markets across the United States. And what they've seen, there were some interesting stats. This was last week. So week over week, they saw an increase of new listings up about 20% over the previous month or previous week. But they saw in general, this week, meaning last week over the year ago, the same week, that listings were down about 50%. So what are you seeing in your market right now, Teresa?
So actually, we pulled together these stats based on the fact that you ask about it. So sales are up year over year about 0.5%. This is through March. These figures were embargoed, just released today. Median sale price up 9.5%. Dollar volume up 10%. Median time to contract dropped. New listings dropped 20% before any of this. Active inventory dropped 10%, which is it's okay for inventory to be down. And then month supply dropped, which is a really good thing for the market. So then what we did is all of these are great figures, and that's through all of March, whereas half of March was hit with this. And we were actually put into lockdown on around the 20th of March. And so still we were able to come up with these figures, which is amazing. But the members out there are having to really work hard for this, and they have so many restrictions that they have to try and fight through, and we're working with them to help overcome those obstacles and be able to still get listings and put properties under contract and close deals. But clearly, with what we've been going on for all this period of time, we've had almost a month of lockdown. And so when you consider that, the fact that listings are down, new listings down 55%, is surprisingly not bad considering the lockdown. Sales are down about half, about 50%. Pendings are down about 65%. But all of this will start opening up as any of the Miami-Dade mayor has announced that he's starting to look at opening up some things, but not the beaches yet, because there's something about humans that just cannot control themselves on beaches to do social distancing. And so they're not ready to do that yet for the world here in Miami. But the reality is that as all of these things start opening up, things start happening. And so when I asked my team to give me the figures of new listings for the last 4 weeks, it has been increasing every week. And so it's actually number of new listings have doubled since 2 weeks ago. So things are starting to open up. People are starting to think about getting beyond this and into the future, which is a really good thing. And I want to keep it in perspective for all of the people here, particularly because we're coming from one of our strongest markets ever. So last year, single family was the third highest number of sales in history. And the total residential sales were the fifth highest ever, because that also includes condos. And so I want to remind all of our people and the rest of the country that this too shall pass. We're going to pull out of this. There are going to be people with pin-up demands. We live in a condo, and some people who live in condos with kids are saying, okay, single family market is going to take a boom, after this, for people needing to get into space or out of space, with their kids. And we've even heard about very high-end properties, condos, where the owners of the properties are paying thousands of dollars a month just to be able to rent a pool. And so people will do whatever it takes to do business. So
it is Miami.
That's right. And the numbers are staggering. I won't even quote them for you because it's scary. And then somebody wanted to rent a tennis court because they have an up and coming, tennis pro in the works, and so they need to keep them practicing. So it's different strokes for different folks, and our people are right there to help whatever it is that anyone needs. So the other thing I want to mention right now, and I viewed the other MLS videos, and so I didn't want to repeat a lot of the things that were said in the others. We'll focus on, kind of a different approach. But our approach with the market is that we're preparing our members to do more business now and to really take off as soon as this starts opening up, because we really believe that the market is going to go crazy. And so this is, we firmly believe, is not a time to pull back. It's a time to ramp up. And so once we got everything converted and our members taken care of, and a huge aggressive online education schedule going, and all of the governors and mayor's orders all taken care of so that we can just keep them updated, then our total focus is on how can we help our members take better advantage of what we have now, but also what can we do, what can we bulk purchase, and it costs a lot to bulk purchase for 50,000 members, but it's so much cheaper than if they purchased it themselves. So ours is entirely ramp up, move on, train, educate, implement, and be ready for the next market.
Which is awesome. And, you know, again, there's so many MLSs that really that have that same mind frame that Teresa's mentioning. And we just have to remember that as agents to check in, because a lot of them are doing that. And, you know, even if they're not buying new tools, they have purchased several. The other thing that I love about, not love, but the fact that new listings are down 55%, yet, like you say, you're seeing these ramp is it's starting to happen, is I think consumers, because of all the doom and gloom news that we get every day, believe that we're out of business in real estate. Don't you think, Teresa?
I think that was the case. It's more in some markets than others, and if they don't see us out there, and I don't mean out there in person, I mean out there connecting with them, then they think that we're not doing business. And so fortunately, so many of our members have been out there and using this time to connect with people, to provide more information and resources for them, and that's what we focused on in the new and upgraded products and services, are ways that our members can not have to pay any more to be able to use these, but can better and more easily and more professionally connect with all of their customers, including additional information now that they can automatically have sent to them, so they're staying in touch with them in addition to whatever they do individually. And so much less of that here in our market, but it's all up to the members and staying connected.
Gotcha. Well, let's take a look at some of the things that you've done for them. And again, if you haven't seen some of our other ones, the Valley MLS has talked to you all about listing exposure and lead generation. Palm Beach talked about virtual open houses. There's a lot of neat things going on. And Teresa's doing all of that stuff plus some of this. So I want to show you some things that she's got going. So when we talk about global PropX, this looks really neat.
Yeah, this is an idea that we came up with. I've been here with the association 27 years, and after about the first year here, we were able to sign on our first global international real estate partner association, Sokovia in São Paulo, Brazil, thanks to one of our members. And once that got us started, we kind of went crazy. So we have 233 signed agreements with global partner organizations around the entire world. And so that has worked beautifully. And we stay connected with many of them and support them, and they promote us, we promote them. It works out beautifully. And we have another landing page for all of those 233 partners. But the idea came to us that if we could engage other associations around the world in putting a link that we could promote their association, their members, their market, by putting a link on our website in a special page, and that link would go to their listing. So TREB is the first one. So that's Toronto Real Estate Board, largest in the world. We're number 2, got our eyes on them. So they're great partners to have. We love them, and we're each 100 years old this year. So we kind of got waylaid by the virus, but we want to do some fun things with that 100 years. But they were our first partner who sent us the logo and the link, and we're ready to go. So our members can go to our Global Property Exchange page, which looks like its own website, and they can click on TREB, and they can search properties in the Toronto market, connect with TREB members, and so forth. Miami is sending a link to, actually 2 links to them. They can put on one box, but one of them is to all properties, and the other one is to commercial investment properties, because we'll get onto that as to what we're doing, and that's really important to support a market, and particularly ours as well. So these are our first associations that actually have listings to share. And then there's a smaller group down toward the bottom where they're promoting our listings, but they don't have aggregated listings to share yet. But we believe that it helps them to be able to move in that direction, because once their members and their public get used to being able to look at Miami listings or some of the others, it may seem more natural for them to do the same for their market. So part of what we do is help and encourage our associations, partners around the world, and we market them and market their properties through connections. We're very excited about our global property exchange. And
that's amazing.
This brand
you have Mexico and you have Brazil. I assume that there's a fair amount of South American and Central American business that comes into Miami, plus around the world. But I would guess that might be a big part of your business. Is that true?
It is, and Israel is very strong for our market as well. And so we've got a global property, an international market study that NAR does for us every year for about the last 7 or 8 years, and it's on our website if anybody would like to see it. But we've been tracking for that 7 or 8 years the top properties in the top countries buying in our market, and great data in there that NAR compiled for us after doing a survey of all of our members each of these years. They do one for Florida, and then they pull some of Florida's information for ours. We actually do them at the same time now, and it's amazing. So when we started doing it, we had the top 7 to 10 countries who were buying in Miami, and now it takes 2 slides because there are 21 top countries buying in Miami. And then there are 25 on another slide, which is these also buy in Miami. And we're saying Miami is collectively.
Amazing. That's another whole way. We think of MLS as historically as only generating business in our local community. You're generating it across North America as well as around the world. So that's, again, when we think about our MLSs, we have a tendency to think of them as the MLS system and that's it. This demonstrates an example of where the MLS has gone, their thinking is much, much broader than that. And again, check out your own because they may be doing some cool stuff too. So let's talk about commercial now. Looks like you're doing some neat things for that side of the house too.
One of the things I wanted to mention while we were on the Global Property Exchange, it's just an example of now that we have that up and running, now we will create a co-brandable marketing flyer with this logo and the information, and it won't be about us. It will be about the members. It's their Global Property Exchange. And so they co-brand it. They can use it as a flyer, a part of their video presentation, whatever it is they would like. Everything that we do turns into, it's the members' service. It's not the Miami Realtors service. So it becomes my Global Property Exchange. Next.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay, the South Florida Commercial MLS. We launched that just very late September, October, and I think we're the only commercial MLS in the country because most of them are CIEs, Commercial Information Exchanges. And the other thing that our commercial members want is because for almost 20 years, they've started putting their properties in the MLS, not to be in the MLS, but for the organization, for the connections to our services like IMAP, tax mapping, demographics, and some other services. So as we've continued to add services for residential, we've also tried to include commercial services in with that product or service. And so it's just continued to grow to the point when I first proposed the South Florida Commercial MLS, one of the first questions from the commercial board was, will residential still have access to our properties? That doesn't happen in most markets. I think one of the reasons it happens here is because once they started doing this for their practical purposes, they found they were selling more properties. And then they found they were selling more to international buyers because our residential members are the first entry into the market for international buyers and investors. And so it's worked out to be an incredible package. What you see on the left-hand side, Marilyn, you asked us to provide our Clarity dashboard. And so Deborah Boza-Valador has actually created for our members a different look and feel. So if you're a broker, then you have a different look to your dashboard. If you're a residential agent, you're going to see that in a moment. But as a commercial agent, you don't necessarily want your dashboard cluttered with a whole lot of things that you're not interested in. So this one is specifically designed for commercial and the services that commercial have.
That's amazing. So
Yeah.
if you guys have been listening before, you've heard me say this, and I'll say it again. If you're in commercial, and I know some people do both, these dashboards are things that many of you log into. I know the Clarity dashboard is a very popular thing. If it isn't like that, there's, sometimes there's links on pages, right? And I ask many times agents, I'm like, so have you looked at all of those, what are those little boxes on your dashboard? What are they for? And many agents look at me and say, I don't know. So one of my goals on these shows is just to say, literally, just take one of those boxes. I don't care which one that looks interesting, push it, because what you'll see is as you engage with these, there's there's 20 different commercially centric offerings that the Miami Realtors are offering to their members. And all of them have a significant purpose, right? They're not doing it for their health. They're doing it because some helps you with valuation, some helps you with marketing exposure, some helps you with, prospecting. They all do different things. And I'm sure we'll probably get to this down the line. There's training that goes along with all of these too. So again, this is the perfect time when you do have just a little bit of break in the action to get comfortable with this stuff, because I'm telling you, there's so much here. And once you get comfortable, you come back out of it. And, a lot of agents haven't done that. You're going to be way ahead of the game. And by the way, you're not going to be paying $1 more for all those great tools that you already pay for with the MLS at a pretty low rate in most cases. So sorry, that's my little MLS pitch, because I totally agree with you. These guys are doing awesome.
A great tip. So since we launched the commercial and the commercial portal, which is beautiful, property portal, since we launched those and then started getting other connections and services amped up for commercial, we've actually grown our commercial membership about 800 since that launch in late September. So we're now at about 3,000 commercial members. I think we're fifth largest in the MLS. And our members do 84% of all of the commercial MLS business in all three counties. So they rock. Next.
Amazing. Okay.
Okay, so this is what the regular dashboard looks like. So you can see like commercial, which are more focused. Don't give me everything. Just tell me only the things I'd be interested in. So Deborah and her team did an amazing job at designing that and really making it work for the members. So we've got the everything in the top box is the one click. Once you log into this, you can go one click to any of those services that we have. And then we have our second tier of services because there were just too many to have in one area. Next.
And RE Technology is one of those, by the way. If you are from Miami, click through because you will be able to find us there, and you can get full access to everything as part of your membership to the Miami Realtors. Okay. Well, this one looks fun. What's this one?
This one we launched the Thursday before we had our last day open on Monday. And so this was scheduled to launch about 3 weeks later, but we reached out to the company that we've been working with for so long and said, our members need this, they need it now, and we've got to figure out whatever we can do to get it launched now. And so they did. Launched on the Thursday, our last day open at the office was Monday. And what my team did is, our team, is they started loading, they've been loading videos on it of seminars that we had done. We do our annual award-winning International Congress, and all of the speakers and programs from that are loaded on. Our commercial program that we do, our Rock the Market, all of those big things, these programs are loaded on. But what we had them do was amp up everything. And our 5 trainers went out and got all their programs, got them loaded on. And by the time Monday evening rolled around, we had 300 seminars, webinars, and tutorials all loaded onto Miami Realtors Live for the members to have one-click access to. In addition to that, while they were doing all of that, my team led by Lisette Haynes, she does all the technology training and scheduling. And how one 5-foot-tall person does that, I have no idea, but she is packed with dynamite. And she took the entire schedule, she and our chief of professional development, Letty Oliver, and they got every course that we had scheduled for the rest of the month, the rest of the 2 weeks. They got it turned around to a recorded video if we had one. and posted it on the same day at the same time so members wouldn't lose anything. And so now as we go on and we're doing 15 to 20 a week, and actually our normal schedule is 4,000 seminars a year. And during this period of time, they have done 100 unique seminars, webinars, Zoom training conferences, plus 150 that our vendors have done, either their general one or specifically for us. So that's 250 unique programs in 2 weeks with 20,000 participants.
Amazing. So this is, again, another example of what I mean. MLSs are stepping up in a big way to help all of you. So even if you historically your MLS may not have had as many, online opportunities or virtual training as you may have wanted, or even that you took advantage of, check back with them, because many have made this turn and have now made it easy. Some have also been able to get more of CE courses online, which is great too. So you can get your CE courses, kind of up to date while you're in this time where you have a little bit. So you don't have to wait till December 15th, which is what many of us do, right? So anyway, that's awesome.
You had mentioned NAR's Right Tools right now. And so just like they did before when they launched it, we've kind of created our own. And so as long as we can afford it, and as long as things are closed down, we're not only doing all of the seminars free, but we're actually doing some of the certification courses free as well. And so one of them, just one alone, is costing us $7,000. So I said, I'm not sure how many of those we could do, but so that we can give them to the members free.
Well, again, take advantage of that stuff, because, the MLSs understand and the associations understand that you're struggling as agents and brokers right now. And many of them are stepping up like that. I mean, that's terrific, Teresa. Thank you so much for doing that for your members. But take advantage of it, because it won't last, right? Once we get back to business, we're all going to get back to business, including, doing things the more normal way. But I would guess now that you've got all these tools loaded, you're probably going to keep more virtual kind of training going. Is that true, Teresa?
Absolutely. We've got two locations in Miami, one location in Broward, of our facilities that have all of the cameras, lighting, and everything, so that when we're recording seminars, unless for some reason some attorneys don't want us to record their seminars, but hopefully they'll come around too, because it's good exposure for them. But all the staff on site has to do is push a couple of buttons at the beginning and then close it out at the end, and it's ready to post to Miami Realtors Live.
That's great. So, now that everybody's getting used to Zooms and GoToMeetings and Google Hangouts and all of this crazy stuff, I think we're going to see more demand. And boy, it's nice, especially if you're in a market where there can be lots of traffic, just stay in the privacy of your own home at whatever time that you want, and, take advantage of all that. It's awesome. Okay, should we go to the next slide?
For our market. Next.
Yeah, because you have a lot of traffic for sure. Yeah. Okay.
So this one is brief. We launched it at immediately after we did the new commercial MLS, and it's our public property search for commercial. And it was created for us by Calabra, who does all of our Proxio Pro websites and services. And we now have this search being used by our economic development groups, the statewide Florida Light and Power. The cities are now wanting to link this on their sites, and so it's getting big exposure. Very excited about it.
And do you have a property search site too for regular residential properties, or we'll get to that. We'll take a look. Okay, let's go.
Yes,
okay,
I don't have a screen. I don't have a screen on that, but yes, we do. And Calabra is the one who provided it also. So our residential search is available in 20 languages. So Remind, we've had Remind for quite some time, and it's really amazing. But we love what they've come up with in Pro. So we actually just during this period of time, I think last week, we finalized the upgrade of Remind Pro for every one of our members. So the ones who had already upgraded are going to save a few $100s a year, and everybody's going to get to take advantage of it. The training has already started, and it's amazing. They also just launched their Remind video tour, and it's pretty awesome as well. So the members can take advantage of that. Next.
Yeah, and Remind is another one that many MLSs around the country are starting to roll out. So again, check it out to see. That may be something that's new for your MLS as well. Oops, sorry. There we go. Agent 3000.
And Remind, while we were on it, has some amazing things that you can do to connect with consumers, whether they're buyers or former sellers or just in your sphere of influence. So you need to be sure and check that out. It's a great way to connect with them. Agent 3000 is something that we contracted for last fall, and it is it's our hottest new product. And so this Robert Rodriguez is one of our 5 full-time trainers, and we've had every class that we've done fill up when they were in live sessions, and we're having to rearrange, kicking out some of our MLS training for the Agent 3000 training. So we love bringing great new products and services to the members. Next. RPR, everybody knows and loves RPR, but our people take it to a whole new level. They are just crazy about it, and RPR does amazing training, not only the regular ones that they do that anyone can log into, but also in particular, they do commercial RPR training, and that really rocks. Next.
Yeah, RPR is a good one because, again, lots of great data and lots of good ways to take advantage of it, especially if you have somebody that's, you're reaching out to and says, what's happening with the market? That's a great way to give them an update.
Okay, so back on RPR, I wondered why they had that one, but what I asked them to do is we have a flyer that is co-brandable for the members, and it's a map of the United States. So almost everything is a map of the world. It's a map of the globe with Miami at the center, of course, because it's our map. But RPR is a map of the United States, and it shows that we have, I don't remember, I think the latest number is we connect with 256 MLSs and associations worldwide, US-wide. So what happens is it has all those maps, and then on the back, it has by state and by MLS or association, all of the ones that we share our active listings with. And so RPR tells us we're kind of like on steroids when it comes to using this part of their services. But it's just another one of the things where it's a co-brandable piece so that when our members go out to say, when you list with me, your property goes to 261 other markets in the United States. So every realtor who goes into their market and they change state to Florida, they'll see Miami. And they not only get all the tax information like they do for the rest of the country, they actually see our active listings. And so we would certainly encourage more markets to do that. And we have a standing order with our PR. Anybody who wants to share with us, we'll share with them. So it's an easy connection. Next.
And great way for referral business too for agents, right?
It's
great. Yeah, that nationwide footprint that's a lot of people. 150 million properties. That's a lot of properties. Okay, we'll go back to the slide now.
Okay, so you talked about open houses, and this is our South Florida openhousesearch.com. And Deborah Boza-Valador runs some special weekends. One of the last one was with Art Basel here in Miami, and it was a 10-day open house program, and there were thousands of properties on the open house program while we had all of those other people from around the U.S. and around the world here. But it does really well even on regular weeks. But we had to shut it down because people were continuing to use it after the stay-in-place orders were put in place. But what we did figure out that we could do is we can totally retool it to be a virtual open house search. And so any properties that are in here will only be open virtually. But she has the first 10 days in May scheduled as the big launch for this, as the big virtual open house for the first 10 days in May. And all they have to do is go into the MLS, set up their open house the way they normally did. It automatically comes in here as a virtual open house. We have all these new programs set up for them to be able to use to put their virtual tours in here in addition to the professional ones that are available. And then the second part of this is You can search for open houses, virtual open houses, but you can also search just for virtual tours. And so all of those will be in here as well. We're very excited about this. It's what our market needs at this time. And every change that we've made with it is so that it can just be flipped back again as soon as the market opens up. Next.
Well, and actually, just a quick aside on that, we've been talking to a lot of top producing brokerages and agents, one of them which is the Robert Slack Realty, which is based in Florida. And they're telling us that they're now using, because a lot of people are worried, well, can I actually sell a house with a virtual open house? And they're telling us that historically they've always done that for people that are coming in from around the country, because of course you have, lots of, as we looked at, a lot of people from around the world actually coming into Miami. But they also said that they're now seeing people are actually putting in offers and closing deals using virtual open houses. So it's becoming a thing, and may become even a bigger thing after we get through this. Who knows?
It is, and our members are saying the same thing. It works for them, for other buyers from the U.S., globally, but also here in our own market. It's working. Mm-hmm. Emo Viewer is something we just contracted for last week, and they rolled it out for us on Thursday. They've just about finished converting all of the listings that we had since April 1 and creating the tours for them. And it is so slick. It's just amazing. We both purchased it. It costs the members nothing. It creates beautiful, not slideshows, beautiful virtual tour looking tours on it. And there's no charge for that. It takes the first 15 photos, adds music, and it's really like a walk through the house instead of just moving through slides. The other part of it that I love is you can pay, it's around $25, I think, if you want to have a floor plan done, and if you want a little more, if you want to create a dollhouse. And those are fantastic. And so all you have to do is have a 360 photo of every major room in the property, and they're able to create these really great floor plans and house models. And if you decide that you're going to do that on your property, then you actually start through the dollhouse in whichever room you want, and you can maneuver around, through that. And so it's really amazing. So that's Emo Viewer. We love it.
Yeah, and there's no reason why every agent, even if you have properties that you have photos for right now, can't go back and do this, right? And these kinds of programs cost money if you do that on your own, especially having a floor plan. Today, when you can't walk through a home, floor plans have always been really popular for online search, but now especially when you can look at a picture and then get the flow and look at it both, like you definitely take advantage of this. And again, there's Emo Viewer works with other MLSs, and there's other tools like that in MLSs around the country. So that's a great one, Teresa. Thank you so much for doing that for your members.
So the international MLS has been there for a while. We hadn't done anything with it before. There were fees for our members to pay to have their listings on it, and we just contracted with the international MLS to have all of our properties on it, residential and commercial, at no charge to our members. And so we're very excited about that. We're just rolling it out right now. More exposure for the members. Next.
Okay. All right, so I think that's all of your, well, not all of you. That's, as you went back to those dashboards, like I said, every MLS has some good collection of things. Teresa's got a ton of them, like many others do. Like, make sure you click on those things. I know it sounds dumb, and I've said it over and over, but I'm telling you, there's so much gold in them Bar Hills that we're not taking advantage of, right? Speaking of that, I wanted to remind you about things we can help you with. So we have, we are recording all the coffee chats. So if you go to YouTube, click on RE Technology Inc.'s channel, which is ours, and click the subscribe button. And then there's that little bell right next to it, which I always wondered what that was. I figured that out not too long ago. You click that basically then will push to you every time a recording is uploaded, so you'll never miss another recording of those. And if you're sick of Netflix and you're sick of all the other ones, and you want to binge watch recorded coffee chats, feel free. We'll actually, if we can put that link into the text chat that box, Michael, that would be great. But they're all recorded. They're in one playlist, so if you want to take a look, that'd be awesome. Now, many of you have a free subscription to RE Technology already if you're part of Miami or several other MLSs. So before you do this, go check, because you might already have one. But if you don't, you can get a free subscription to RE Technology, and just go to there's a little section under the search that says Create Account. Go to Create Account and fill out the form, and then when you get to checkout, it'll ask you for one of these promotional codes, and you'll get a free subscription for 3 months. Normally, it's a $200 a year subscription, so we're giving you that as well because, again, we want you to take advantage of all these ideas and all these great products that are coming from so many different sources from MLSs and around the country. So, and I wanted to just show you too that there's 2 more coming. Well, there's several more, but the next 2 this week. We mentioned the right tools right now. We actually have Colleen Doyle from NAR coming tomorrow to tell us all about that program. There's a ton of things in there, and it keeps getting added to it, just like lots of MLSs are doing. One of the things that's really neat is there's a free, I think it's a 2 or 3 month subscription to telehealth, which is a way to go online and, God forbid someone's sick in your home, you can use that. And there's great videos, and there's a great video to show you how to do a virtual open house as an example. And there's a bunch more. RPR's got things in there. There's all kinds of stuff. So another free tool. Take advantage of that because it's part of your dues. Then on Thursday, we've got Greer Allen, who's a really neat guy. He's from Boomtown, which is a big kind of a digital marketing platform, for lack of a better name. And he's got some great ideas about how to generate leads in this time, how to use digital marketing more effectively, how to transition maybe some things you might have done offline and move them online. So he's going to be terrific. I'm really excited to see him. And then on Friday, we have a duo of Realtor.com and Matterport coming on, another one with 3D tours. And they're doing some sort of a new partnership they're going to announce, which will be really great. So again, another free way. Realtor.com, by the way, if any of you are advertisers there and haven't looked, their prices are way, way down. I think something like 60% right now. So if you haven't checked that out, make sure that you're doing that. Maybe sometimes even test some of that if you can afford it. Anyway, so yeah, that's where we are. So thank you so much, Teresa, for getting us through all of that. There's a lot of really neat things. And again, it's great to see MLS is stepping up in really exciting ways, doing all kinds of new things. And as you can see, they've been at it for many, many years trying to do the right thing for their members. So if you are from Miami, please feel free to go in and click on those. Like I say, just click one, just for me, just click one. And I guarantee you're going to be like, wow, this stuff's really cool. I should be doing this more. So, all right, well, it's almost 9:45, so thanks to everyone that attended today. If any of you that attended have any feedback for us, or if there's any other topics that you'd like us to cover, put it down there in the question or in the chat box, and we'll be happy to get you some more. So this is going on. We've got people already booked for all of next week and even beyond that. So we're going to keep going as long as you guys want us to keep helping you figure out ways to be better virtual sellers. So with that, have a great day, everybody.
Great.
And we'll talk to all of you
Great
soon.
job, Marilyn.
See you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Teresa.
Bye.
And thank you so much again. Okay, bye-bye.